What's up, everybody? Hey, Tom Laird here, host of the Advice from a Call Center Geek podcast and founder of Expedia. For exceptional contact center outsourcing, trust Expedia. We're fully AI-driven, as all of you know, and can handle voice, email, chat, and all of your digital channels. Our 600-seat USA contact center is expert in healthcare, financial services, insurance, tech support, retail, and more. Experts on the NICE CX1 platform, we ensure seamless customer experiences. DM me or visit expediausa.com for more.
This is Advice from a Call Center Geek, a weekly podcast with a focus on all things call center. We'll cover it all from call center operations, hiring, culture, technology, and education. We're here to give you actionable items to improve the quality of yours and your customers' experience. This is an evolving industry with creative minds and ambitious people like this guy. Not only is his passion call center operations, but he's our host. He's the CEO of Expedia Interaction Marketing Group and the Call Center Geek himself, Tom Laird.
Welcome back, everybody, to Advice from a Call Center Geek. My name is Tom Laird. I'm the CEO of Expedia Interaction Marketing and your fearless host here on The Geek. I want to thank all of you, actually. This is kind of cool. I've been getting, I don't want to say hate emails, but emails like, hey, man, what the heck's going on? Where's our podcast last week? Which is actually kind of cool, right? That you guys are actually, I don't know, I guess I don't want to say program for every week, but looking forward to that's probably a better way to put it. Looking forward to the weekly podcast. Well, I can tell you, I have not. I have a 7-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son. We have never done, and obviously my wife, we've never done a family vacation. So I did bring my computer and my microphone out to the lake. There's a lake about 20 miles. Obviously, there's Lake Erie, but we kind of went on an inland lake for a week, rented a house, and kind of hung out there, did my daughter's birthday party, did all that kind of stuff last week. So while I was planning on doing an episode while I was out there and had all my notes there, I didn't get around to it. So again, I apologize for the delay in last week's episode not being broadcast, I guess. But I want to thank you guys that have that sent me some emails questioning, like, hey, Tom, what the heck's going on? So at least I know that there are some of you out there. I know we talked about it a little bit last time we had an episode, but we're well over 7,000 total downloads of Advice from a Call Center Geek, and we're only about 6 or 7 months into this. We're close to 35 episodes. Each episode is kind of rocking it now as we throw them out there. So again, you guys are still it's funny that there's still the number one rated episode, or the number one downloaded episode is games to play in your call center. So I'm still hearing you on that. We're probably going to do another episode of that here in the next couple weeks to get you some more of that. But let's talk about something a little new from a technology standpoint that a lot of you are not doing, and some of you that are newer to the industry probably will be seeing this in the next 5 to 7 years, probably closer to the 5-year window, and that's video. And how do we implement that into our customer support strategy? Not many are doing it, right? I mean, there's very few. I mean, even the big guys have not really walked down that road to full-fledged video customer support. So let's talk about some of the reasons why it's pretty cool. We have a client that we're actually doing this for right now. It's a very small client. So we're kind of looking, at some of the pluses and minuses and using it as kind of a test for this client who's pretty forward thinking and wants to do some unique and different things with their support cycle and their customer journey. So let's talk about some of the bonuses or the pluses of implementing video. So number one is obviously is pretty easy, and it's a unique experience. And unique experiences can be good or they can be bad, right? So there's a lot of early adopters that enjoy and like unique experiences, but the majority of us are kind of a wait and see approach. But the cool thing about video is we all FaceTime, right? Every single one of us that has an iPhone, or even if you have an Android device, you're using some type of video to conference and to talk to your friends, to talk to your family, to talk to your kids. So there's a comfort level that's being developed, and we're kind of being programmed into enjoying and into having video be a normal piece and part of our life. So again, it's as easy as you can be across the United States and I can have I can read a bedtime story to my daughter when I'm in California and she's in Pennsylvania. So that's pretty cool. The option is still there for 1- and 2-way video, so it doesn't have to be a 2-way video, which I know a lot of people freak out about, and I think that there are some pluses and minuses to that. So really, we'd want the customer to see the customer service rep or the sales rep, and then, not always is it appropriate, or should we be seeing the customer on the other line unless the customer opts in, and we feel comfortable at that. So again, it's a pretty cool experience. It's something that you can differentiate and be cutting edge with. The second reason that we have found is it presents an urge to buy, right? So many times when somebody goes on Amazon or they go on eBay, they go on all these different sites online, they scour the sites, right? They look for the best price. They go to another site. When you're in a store and you see a product and you hold that product in your hand, I'm not saying you don't care about the price, but there becomes this urge to buy because you see a tangible product in front of you. And also you can have a sales rep that comes up and can talk to you about it. And it's not just you kind of doing research on your own and reading reviews, and maybe the first review is bad, so you move on to the next one. So with video, we can really give that urge to buy, right? We can create that sense of an in-store experience without obviously being in store. We know malls across the United States are closing. Everyone is talking about what experiences can we give the customers now. Even when a store does open, right? It's not normally just a store that you walk in and pick something up. There's displays, there's different things that you can interact with. They're making it, trying to be really cool so that it drives you to that store. Well, for those of you who maybe have a customer support, maybe you're a B2B, where you're a totally online company, right? It's very difficult to give an in-store experience. But with video, we can present that, and it's pretty cool on your service and your sales, from just a service, trying to help a customer out, to a sales call where you actually show a product and kind of maybe even do a quick demo. That's pretty cool. I would say urge to buy is a huge reason that we can increase conversion rates on any sales product, using video when customers are starting to buy into that. The third reason that it's pretty cool is that the technology is here. Even a couple years ago with WebRTC, or with specific plugins, it was kind of a painful, I hate the word wonky, but I keep using that word, wonky experience, where if you wanted to do video with somebody, you had to download this plugin. Sometimes it didn't download right. You're waiting, and it just made the customer experience poor. But now with the technology that's out there, we're able to, route face-to-face, with the customer and the associate. That's totally seamless. So really on your website, if you have you have a click to call, you have a click to chat, you can have a click to video, right? And we can have a interactive video experience with that customer. Here's the other thing with the technology. The customer that we're doing video with is using co-browsing as well. So this is pretty cool. So basically, while you're doing a video and you're browsing their website, we can actually be going on to the same website, circle things, talk about certain things from a face-to-face standpoint. So you can use not only just video, but use co-browsing technology with video to create a really cool experience where basically the customer service rep is, quote unquote, sitting next to the customer and kind of going through the website with them, showing them specific things, talking about certain things, and maybe they even have a couple physical pieces of that product that they can actually show and be like, oh, see this number 3 there is actually right here. And you can see the color of it, blah, blah, blah. You can see the size. Pretty cool. So I think the technology is really adding to a really unique customer experience that not enough of us are, from an organizational standpoint, are taking advantage of yet, because I think people are still nervous about the technology. The cost for video customer services, so this is kind of our fourth kind of cool thing, is super cheap. Right? With the technology of today, with doing video over the internet, it's not very expensive. And from an outsourcing standpoint, just to give you an example, there's no extra cost, for most outsourcers. If they do, they're probably kind of ripping you off, right? But we don't charge anything extra other than, what we would normally do for voice and chat, because the cost is actually a little bit less. So you're still paying for probably a higher end rep, right? Because you have to make sure that, they're looking at your part, they're looking at your demographic. It's not just now just what they say, but how they look as well. So we want to make sure that we match all those types of things to what you guys are trying to do. And that, so if you're trying to do this in-house, it's the same thing. So there may be a little bit more cost there, but from an actual technology standpoint and the technology cost, it's nothing, right? Compared to what voice is. The fifth reason is awesome, right? And it's one of my favorite reasons for video, in that it can be so much fun, especially when you're in a group of people. So I know you can kind of maybe confuse this with a video conference, but you could basically have a link that you could sign up on a customer's or a company's website, right? And you get a group, let's say it's a bridal party, and let's say it's 2 weeks before a wedding, and you go onto this website and your whole bridal party does a really fun, group session, because you're all in different cities, you're all over the United States, maybe somebody's in Europe, right, coming in for your wedding. You can have a quote-unquote video chat with a beauty consultant that's going to talk about the makeup and maybe the hair, how they like to have your hair done, for the wedding. The company then can actually sell the products, directly to, the people that are involved in that bridal party, right from the website, and she can take orders right there, or they can take orders through the website through some type of co-browsing. But you can imagine, and you can see the fun that this could have, the different things when you're trying to schedule maybe a trip, and you have a consultant that's on a ski slope, right? And maybe they have a backdrop, and they're talking about all the different types of events and different things that you can take part of with maybe your family members that are all logging in. So you can sign up, and not just sign up because you're going through a website, but actually have somebody talking you through it and maybe showing you some of the things from a video standpoint that you can actually do. So it opens up the imagination. That's what's really cool about, this thing from a customer support side and a sales side. When you can show how unique and how cool you are, again, that urge to buy becomes so much more prevalent in the customer. And if you can have a really cool experience with that customer, you're going to end up selling them something that's part of the package that you're trying to do to make this, extremely profitable for you. So that kind of rolls into, the next, portion of this is sales, right? Because everybody's trying to make their call center into a profit center, and anything that we can do to increase conversions, that's a huge plus. And again, having really cool experiences with the customer, getting them, to have that urge to buy, gets those conversion, those sales to significantly rise. The next kind of piece, or maybe the last one that I want to talk about that's pretty cool, is, you can do augmented reality, right? So let's say you're way cutting edge, but through video, you can set up some things to show a customer what something will look like before they buy. Furniture stores, they can have a picture of a living room that, and you kind of have seen some of this, right? And they show what their furniture would look like in pictures that you can take right as you're going, right as you're talking to the customer service rep, and have that augmented reality kind of part of the video piece, so that you're not only having a conversation with the customer service rep, but they're actually going through and showing you what it would look like to have this furniture or have this product in your house. So, these experiences are unique, and they show the value of your product before the customer makes a purchase, which is pretty cool. And really the last piece of this that kind of ties everything together is, it's cutting edge, right? And this kind of goes back to that unique experience, right? Very few companies are embracing this technology right now. So it really is one of the few times in business where there is a chance for your company to truly innovate and to really be on the cutting edge of the market. Delaying this kind of makes little sense to me, right? Because this is something that I think is, I don't want to say it's tried true, but it's pretty close to tried and true, because we're so comfortable with it now. And so many of you are going to wait until the cool factor of this is done. And you're going to end up just implementing this after so many other companies have. And especially if you're in a larger market where, there's a lot of spend that can go into some quote unquote R&D, right, from a customer service side, you're going to be behind the time. So you don't have to get crazy with this. You don't have to do a full rollout. Not many of your customers at the beginning are going to take advantage of it until you can really show the value of it and word of mouth gets out. But I would highly suggest in your 2020 planning that you plan for a small rollout of a 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 person team. Start to look at the technology to add. If you have any questions on the technology, I'd be more than happy to help you. Nice in Contact again, and I constantly plug them, I know, but that's kind of what I know. Has a really cool advanced chat feature that also allows for video depending on where they click or what they would like to talk about. So you can do a lot of programming, easy programming with that too. So when you can kind of pick and choose when that video button pops up. If a certain product that you want to have a video chat with to test, if a customer's on that, it can pop that button. So again, there's some things that you need to do to kind of prompt your customers, right? And kind of talk to them, in that customer journey about what the video experience is like. But once you get a couple of them using it, right, then we want to make sure that we capture those experiences, that we send out some surveys to them, that we try to get them to do reviews on our Facebook page or any of those types of things to talk about the video experience, especially when it was, hopefully that it was positive, right, to really start to build the trust factor that you have with your organization and build that trust factor into video. So something a little different, just something for you to think about for your 2020 planning. Video is a really cool technology. There's so many really cool things with it. And again, I love technologies that aren't static, right? They're technologies that you can really use your imagination with. And there's so many different channels and companies and things that you could do that I couldn't even remotely think about. And that's one of these types of technologies, like speech analytics and those types of things are really cool like that too, right? There's so many different ways that you can use it for different use cases for different types of clients or different types of business units. So that's my podcast on the here on the 5th of August, my week after vacation. Again, I apologize for the lateness of it, but I'll be back. We'll be back again next week as well for another episode. Again, we're starting to get a ton of, people interacting with the Facebook page. So if you can go to the Advice from Call Center Geek Facebook page, I would love for you to introduce yourself. Make sure that you like that page. We'll get some things out for you. If you go to signup.callcentergeek.com, you can sign up for our free kind of, member site, right? That we're going to try to, once we get to a certain amount of members there, we're going to just do some advanced webinars and some things, some Q&A and try to help you guys out in that way. But also there's, we have a LinkedIn page, Advice from a Call Center Geek. We have a Twitter account, Advice from a Call Center Geek. So please like all those Facebook assets. And also, last but not least, that cheap plug, I do have a book. It's called Advice from a Call Center Geek. You can find it on Amazon. Again, it's under $10 for a paperback, and it's under $4, I believe, for an ebook version. But again, thank you guys for all the support of the site and the podcast. It's been really cool. I'm super excited to continue this here as we go into already almost fall of 2019. Crazy. All right, I'll talk to all you guys next week. Thank you.
This has been Advice from a Call Center Geek. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to the show so you're the first to hear next week's episode. Jam-packed with actionable takeaways you can implement ASAP. Chime in with your thoughts on the episode on Twitter @from_geek and on Instagram @call_center_geek. Also, take a look at our contact center operations book by the same name, Advice from a Call Center Geek on Amazon. This podcast is sponsored by ExpediaUSA.com.